Let me share my. Yeah, sure, I'll do it. Just tell him that it's on YouTube. Ask. I mean, I need consent.
Interesting, interesting background that you have on your computer.
Wait, you see my computer background?
I'm watching your stream right now.
Oh, how did you get my? How are you watching my stream?
YouTube
How did you find me on YouTube?
by looking you up. What are you talking about?
You mean you watching me streaming live right now?
Yeah, I just messaged you the link.
No, I messaged you the link. What do you mean you messaged me the link?
Well, if you look today at 6:52, I messaged you your own stream link. You messaged the link in religion, politics, and philosophy after I messaged it to you.
Oh, wow.
I looked up. I looked up Mr. Slave 41. It was the first thing.
That's a total coincidence. I did not expect that. So, and I just found you just by sheer coincidence because I have a bunch of servers that I look for people to debate, but I found. Oh, there you are. Oh, you're actually writing me comments in the comment section. You are an accomplished computer aficionado. Mm-hmm.
What? Okay.
Aficionado is actually the root word of the word fan. Fan is short for aficionado.
Oh,
Yeah.
hey, you learn something every day.
I think fan is short for aficionado.
Oh, isn't it fanatic?
Oh, it's fanatic. So aficionado is something else. Aficionado. It's something else. Yeah, it's. I think it's fanatic. Yeah, I think you're right. Anyway, who wants to debate me? And I'm streaming live on the YouTubes. This is being streamed live to the universe. The universe, Cro
Fine with the
Magnum.
universe.
You're fine with the
I'm
universe?
not good enough for YouTube.
You're not good enough.
Right? That's what I said.
No, it's okay. It doesn't. No, it's okay. We're all good enough.
Well,
We're good
well,
enough.
I
let's
don't have
let's
a
start
radio
with
voice,
what are
you
you
know.
debating? Are you
So
just
here,
debating
yeah,
politics, or
I'll show you my list of topics. My list of topics. Please wait. Let me.
I see on your website you have even a whole thing on your debating techniques.
Yeah, yeah. It's nothing to write home about, but yeah, pretty much. It's like when I debate people. In the first couple of debates, I had conclusions, and then I wrote up those pages. And the same goes for the debate topics. They're just results of talking with people. Anyway, so these are my debate topics, and we're streaming live on YouTube. So, do you have a topic that you fancy, that you find interesting?
Hey, sorry guys, just really quick, Mr. Slave, I did actually create a recorded VC. If you do plan on streaming, please do it there.
Oh,
Oh, cool.
so
Let's move there real quick. Let's go to
yeah,
that
okay, I'm
stream.
moving. Recorded debate.
Just
All right.
just just so you have some somewhere to be able to operate here, just so everyone's on the same page.
Yeah, yeah,
So,
I'm moving.
thank you.
All right, all right. So, who wants to debate me and about what?
I think Neophyte should go since he's the elite debater, apparently.
Neophyte? Have we debated before, Neophyte? Your name looks familiar. But for now, he's keeping quiet. All right, so why don't we go through the list of topics and try and select one? So, let's go, I guess, from the middle. Like, global warming is unscientific. Do you have anything to say about that?
um,
Do
well,
do you think global
I was
warming?
brought up to I was brought up saying that it's a natural thing
What do you mean you were
from.
brought up? The question is, can I'm saying it's unscientific. The whole global warming TM, the whole industry, the global warming industry is unscientific.
Well, I don't think he has a role. Oh no, he's just spectating. Never mind, I read that wrong.
Wait. Anyway, so I guess we agree on global warming. So there's not much of a point to debate that.
Yeah. What
Um.
is your? I have a question for you actually. What is your
Mhm.
opinion on chemtrails and what do you think they're used for?
Chemtrails, as far as I know, they're just the jetliners flying through the sky. They create these trails, but it's just water vapor. I think they just vaporize the water because as they
Then
travel.
why do some chemtrails dissipate or take longer to go away than others?
Why is it
Like a
important?
significantly longer
Let me
time.
ask
I
you.
don't know.
Yeah,
Um,
I don't think it's anything of significance. I never looked into it. It doesn't sound even mildly interesting. Um, what about COVID pandemic number 19? COVID pandemic never happened. What do you think about that?
I think it was made in a lab in China.
No, no, but even then, there was never a pandemic. It was just a flu. It was just a pandemic. No
I
one.
think it was a whole overreaction.
Right, right. So we agree. Are you like Catholic? Are you religious?
Uh, I'm Christian.
Right, but you're religious. You believe in God and you go to church.
I go to church here and there. It's kind of I
But
don't know
you
how to explain it.
but you believe in God. You
Yes,
are you're a devout Christian.
I guess. Yeah.
So I would say that the Christian virus has infected your brain and is protecting you from the woke mind virus, which includes COVID and global warming. So you're being protected.
How
You're
do I put this? I believe there's a creator, and um,
right, but the way I
I,
see it, you have been infected by a virus. So anyone who believes anything, you can view it as he has been infected by a mind virus. If you believe one plus one is two, then you've been infected by a mind virus that causes you to believe that one plus one is two. Anything you
are you saying
believe,
that because of math?
yeah, math, it's just a belief. There is a virus that infects you, that when it infects you, you believe one plus one is two, and so on. You believe math.
So, what would you think one plus one is then?
It's undefined. You could say that within the game called math, within that game, yeah, you could say
I'd
that,
say it's either a game or a puzzle, if anything.
right,
I
but
wouldn't say it's something logically needed,
right,
but a puzzle, if anything, to
right,
expand the brain of thinking.
whatever. But like when you say what is one plus one, well, I don't know what is one. You're asking me what is one plus one. I don't know. I don't know what is one. What is one? I've never met a one. I never walked down the street and one came across and said, "Hey, I'm one." I never met him. So as far as I know, he doesn't exist. So there is no
Okay.
one. So I don't know what is one plus one. So it's undefined. I also never met two, and so on. So, but I do know we can, if we play pretend that one exists, and we can play pretend that two exists, and so on. Then yeah, within that game called math, we can say within the game that one plus one is two. That's like saying that soccer. If I just walk down the street and I kick a soccer ball at you, you're not going to know how to react. But if we're both on a soccer field and we agreed to play soccer and then I kick the ball at you, you know how to react. If you're on my team, you know to carry the ball towards the other side, or if you're in my opponent, you go against me, and you pass me and so on. So within the game, you can win. You can say it's true that you won a soccer match with me based on a set of rules that we agreed on.
Hmm.
And the same way you could say that one plus one is two within the game called math on which rules we pre agreed on. But it's not true to say that you won that you won soccer. It doesn't make any sense. You you didn't if we played a game and we agreed on certain rules, yeah, you it might be true that you won a soccer match. But it's not true to say it's not correct to say that math is true. Some people think math is true. No, math is just it's a social construct like any other game, like any other language. So and you
I'd say I could see math being a language, if anything.
right,
It's multiplication, 5 by 6 or 5 times 6. You got 5 people and 6 are on the side, and then let's say it's evenly distributed.
right.
There's 30
Exactly.
people in that group. Then
Exactly. Yeah. Yeah, I
I
would
mean
say
that it's just another language at that point.
exactly, exactly. It's just another language that evolved and keeps evolving. It's just a social construct, and so is science. Science is just a
Do you
Mhm.
what is your do you believe in like a group or um uh,
Do I
uh,
belong to a group?
no, do you believe in like a group that like controls or owns the world?
No.
No.
No, no one no. The world is a the universe is a complete chaotic system as far as I can tell. It behaves like all other chaotic systems.
Yeah.
Yeah.
How so?
Excuse me? How so?
Well, yeah. I'm just trying to get your point of belief on
Chaotic
it.
systems have, they behave in certain ways and our world the the climate behaves this way and humans and the economy and the evolution of science and the evolution of philosophy they're all chaotic systems and they all evolve based on darwinistic evolution. You can see how math evolved and science evolved and the iPhone evolved and construction of buildings evolve. Everything evolves. And
Over time, yeah.
what?
Over time, yeah.
Yeah, over time everything evolves. And that's nature. And humanity and society is just another natural phenomenon. It's a complex system, so it's difficult to predict in the short term, just like the weather is difficult to predict. I mean, it's difficult to predict if you like to to uh, uh, to an accuracy, but if you're inaccurate, I mean, you do know that in general, winters are cold, summers are hot, days and night, days are warm, nights are cold. Just in general, you know the general rules, but sometimes there are exceptions. Sometimes there are hot nights and cold days, and sometimes there's a hot winter day or a warm or a cold summer day. I mean, but in general, you know the rules.
Hmm.
So in general, you know how humans behave and how society behaves. In general, it's predictable. But if you try to make accurate predictions, then you start seeing fluctuations, and then it's difficult to predict. Yeah.
So I see on your website here, you got black holes are the entry points into another universe.
Yes.
You want to explain, I guess, how that works?
Sure. So a black hole is a place where space is stretching faster than the speed of light. So
Hmm.
anytime you have like gravity, like we're on Earth, so you could show it's possible to show that space is flowing into Earth. Right now, space is flowing through you into Earth, and you could say that that is what you feel as gravity. You feel like a waterfall of space flowing through you, and that's what's pulling you down as you accelerate upwards using the ground. Anyway, that's how general relativity, that's how Einstein explained the universe actually works because he came to the conclusion, he made a prediction that light would bend due to gravity. Now
What
light
did you say about science earlier?
Science trademark is a scam.
What do you mean by that? Like science trademark?
There is there is a scientific industrial complex. There are people who make a living from science trademark, people who are scientists trademark, people but they're not actual scientists. They have the credential, they have the government certificate that says PhD, maybe even in astrophysics, but these are people who work for the government who need to spout the government propaganda. Everything they say is scrutinized by their employer, the government, or by some big employer. So they have to repeat the propaganda. They have to say the thing. They have to say the lines. And if one of them steps out of line, they have to bring him back into the fold. Otherwise, the zombie mob comes after them, which is one of them. They come after anyone who steps out of line.
Okay.
So it's basically, you could say it's a cult, a religion, but it's like any other group. It's like any other religion. Just like if one of your Christian friends suddenly steps out of bounds of the Christian belief, you would tell him, "Hey, you're out of bounds. Listen, Jesus said this, and the Bible says that. You're not doing it right." You would try to bring him back into the fold in the beginning nicely, but later you might be a little defensive because he's leaving the fold, so that's not good. So
So
so the same goes for any organization, and science is just another social organization that behaves this way, like any religion, like any group. The group becomes, as soon as the group forms, it becomes a Darwinistic animal, and it tries to survive and it tries to grow, and sooner or later it will split in two, and then split in, as soon as it grows enough it will split, and there will become an ecology of the splinter groups that will live together and against each other, just like humans live together but compete with each other.
I want
So
to go back to the
well,
black hole subject here.
all right. Mm-hmm.
Science is, well, I wouldn't say all math, but it is, well, certainly a lot of math. And we wouldn't even have thought of the idea of a black hole without math, according to Einstein and
No, no,
what's
that's
his
not
name?
that's not true. Schwarzschild, Newton.
No, not Newton.
The other one is Schwarzschild. Schwarzschild used Einstein's general
Well,
relativity.
the one that used math to prove black holes were real, basically in a chair 24/7.
Oh,
Stephen
Stephen
Hawking.
Hawking. Yeah, he didn't
He was
prove.
the one that basically
Yeah.
proved the idea of a black hole using math. And later on, we actually got, well, supposedly photo evidence of a black hole. And I mean, it's just confusing.
Where your audio is shite, you're moving in and out. Now you're out. I guess now you died. You don't have any audio now. It's game over, man. It's game over. Or maybe it's mine. Is it my game over? Connection is unstable. If you're on Wi-Fi, try plugging into your router, moving closer to it. Let me see if I have issues. Let me see. No, my YouTube seems to be my YouTube. Yeah, my internet seems to be okay, but you're gone. I can't hear you. Let me type something. Hi, I cannot hear you. Can you hear me? Awesome. Can you hear me? Can you hear me? That's really sad because it was really a very, very nice discussion. I was really enjoying our discussion.
All right, sorry, that was my end.
Yeah, what
Actually, that was
happened?
not your end. My Wi-Fi just decided to say I'm out of here.
Yeah. Yeah, it's a problem with
It's weird. I could hear you, but you couldn't hear me.
right.
And then I hovered over my voice connection. It said I had 5,000 pings. I'm like, oh, okay. Well, there we go. That's
I
the reason.
see. Yeah, I mean, this is one of the proofs that engineering doesn't work. All these Wi-Fi and routers and all these
Well,
engineered
Wi-Fi
systems.
and Bluetooth is very bad for you. They're both radiation.
No, no, incorrect. They are insignificant. The radiation, the frequency is too low to impact your DNA. So at best, it could warm you up, but even for that, it's not strong enough. So, but it cannot. I mean, in order to cause cancer, you need to be able to knock off a single atom or molecule of the DNA of a cell, and for that you need very high energy. So Wi-Fi and Bluetooth, as far as I know, are both microwave. Microwave are down to a millimeter long. I mean, they can be pretty small, but not but they're way too big for the molecular size for the DNA. So, no, they cannot do any harm. As far as I know, on a theoretical level, they cannot do any harm. So, yeah,
What
and
about 5G?
yeah, it's the same thing. I mean, these are all. I mean, it's radio waves and microwaves. They're just too big. I mean, go walk over to your microwave at home and look at the mesh, the wireframe that when you look into it, you see these wires, right? You look through wires with tiny holes, right?
Hmm.
So these holes, the microwave cannot come out of these holes because the microwave, the wave size is bigger than these holes. So they get reflected back in. As far as the microwaves are concerned, they're looking at a mirror. So internally, the microwave it's boxed in from all sides, even though you can see. So light can escape because it's tiny, but microwave is huge. It cannot escape through these tiny holes. So that's the size. I mean, so microwave is bigger than these holes. Now, your DNA molecules are much, much tinier. So you need something basically with a wavelength of light, meaning I think infrared. What you need is high energy infrared or high energy ultraviolet. Ultraviolet. I think ultraviolet. You need high energy. You need ultraviolet light. I think to knock off a DNA, like a molecule off your DNA, and maybe cause it to start becoming cancerous. So microwave, radio, 5G, as far as I know, they're way too big. If they were small, so they would be like light and they wouldn't go through walls. So you wouldn't have reception in your house. It wouldn't make any sense. High energy loses energy. So if right, so light is high energy. Light is short wavelength, but it cannot go through anything. It's such short wavelength it cannot everything stops it. Especially, I mean, a piece of paper stops light. If it stops light, it stops ultraviolet light.
Um, I wanted to ask about number 25 here, where it
Number
says
25. 1 second.
ask yourself, is a terrorist?
Yes, Ask Yourself is a terrorist. So he changed my Discord. You know who Ask Yourself is?
No, not at all.
He's a vegan. Like all the vegan teacher is a vegan. Vegan Gains is a vegan, and Ask Yourself is a vegan. So these vegans
It's all
employ.
attention.
Excuse me.
I think it's all attention.
Um, Well, I think it's more than that. I mean, Vegan Gains makes a living out of being a vegan. The vegan teacher, I think she also probably has a nice income from being the vegan teacher. Ask yourself, I don't know if he makes money from being a vegan, but he's a very popular vegan. He has a lot of clout. He has a very big Discord community. Yeah, these people just belong to just another group. And as we discussed, every group, once it forms, the laws of evolution, the Darwinistic laws of survival, affect it, infect it. So the group tries to survive and grow and protect itself. And these guys use terrorism in order to protect themselves. Specifically, if you try, like the vegan teacher lately, she said that cosmic skeptic who became non-vegan, she said that she would be calling for his public hanging for going non-vegan. So, I mean, these guys are terrorists. These guys use terror. They terrorize their own. It's like a cult that if you try and leave the cult, they'll come after you, or like the mob. If you leave the mob, they'll come to kill you. You're not allowed to leave the mob or a gang. You're not allowed to leave a gang.
No, not at all.
If you try to leave, they'll kill you because they need to send a message that there's no, you can't. They cannot have betrayal. So the vegans cannot have one of them betray them. They need to make sure that everyone falls in line. No one leaves the fold. So ask yourself, yeah, he uses terrorists. The one he's one of them. He uses these techniques. So let me see. So he changed my Discord name to derogate me. He called me a human Holocaust denier, and then human Holocaust agnostic dumb. And lately, he started calling me, he changed my name on his Discord server to Attention Seeker, Please Notice Me. His intent is to terrorize me and sow terror in the eyes of any onlooker, meaning, see, this is what we vegans do to anti vegans. So you better not be anti vegan or we will come after you. He has harassed me many times when I posted invitations to debate me. He has, of course, refused to debate me multiple times. So, what do you want to know about him? I mean, if you don't know him, then it doesn't
I
make.
don't know.
Yeah.
I didn't know what it was.
What do you
It
think
was kind of something I was interested in because you said they're a terrorist.
Right. What do you think of
I mean,
vegans?
um, I know one in real life.
A
It's just
vegan? Okay.
yeah, they. I don't really know. I don't mind it. It minds what I mind when it like interferes or is somehow a negative impact on me.
Right.
How they will start like saying, "Oh, stop eating this, stop eating that," or something. I don't know. I don't want to hear it.
Right. So sometimes I mean, they terrorize people. They terrorize farmers. They terrorize restaurant owners. They terrorize
Yeah, I've
me.
seen some stuff on that recently. Actually, I mean, they're saw a pretty funny video. They throw someone out of a building.
They threw, yeah. So
Well,
they,
not like a tall building, but
right, right. So ask yourself actually terrorized me because he wants to make sure everybody knows that if you're anti-vegan, you know you're going to be terrorized. So this way, no one wants to be an anti-vegan activist. So I'm an anti-vegan activist, and I'm paying the price for this. And they make sure everyone knows, don't be anti-vegan, or we'll come after you. We will hurt you as much as we can.
hmm
So that's their philosophy, and the same goes for vegan gains. He actually organizes, letter writing campaigns against people he disagrees with politically, calls people Nazis, contacts their acquaintances in real life, and so on. What do you think about Greta Thunberg?
Greta Thunberg. Never done any research. Just heard about the Tate incident, and that's it.
Yeah. Um,
If I'm right, that was a female or male that basically switched genders. That's all I know.
Greta Thunberg? No, she didn't switch
No,
gender. No, she was born female. She's still female. It looks like we agree on everything. As I said, you are protected by a mind virus that took
I
over your
heard that. Yeah,
mind. What?
yeah, I heard you say that earlier.
What do you think of that? What do you think of my
Well,
theory?
honestly, I'm kind of two-sided on it. I've been thinking about leaving,
Mm-hmm.
but it's just I don't know where. There's too many things to believe,
Mm-hmm. Hold on.
and
Oh, cute. All right. So, just as someone just joined, one of my co-hosts joined the conversation. Hey, Q2, what's up?
Nah, what's good? You doing a bunch of shows. I'm liking it.
Yeah, yeah. Wait, you said I'm doing a bunch of shows and you like it?
Yes.
Yeah, I moved the show from 11 p.m. to 8 p.m. At night. I don't know what I'm gonna do with the night one, the morning one. But anyway, I'm having a conversation. You want to join us on Discord?
Uh, Depends. Yeah. Just send me the invite to the room, and hopefully it won't take that long.
All right. Let me ask Osum, how can I get wait, Q2, you're making so much noise, my God.
do you have them
Invite
added on Discord?
yeah, here. Invite people.
Yeah, there
No.
you go.
And then I'm gonna say Q2. Oh, there it is. Invite and copy. So I have a copy. All right, good. We're good. Anyway, so you're thinking about leaving the Christian fold?
Yes.
Hmm.
Um, it's more of
What's
it's
what's
become attached, but like not attached because there's some I can see some things that are wrong, but I can also see some things that would make sense if that
right?
makes sense to you.
Of course, there's no perfect system. I mean, you're not
No,
gonna
there isn't, and that's just too bad.
right.
Um,
You're never gonna find a perfect group to join that's gonna match always and forever with your ideals. Yeah, so it's compromise. If you want to be part of a group, yeah, you're gonna have to compromise.
it
Or
just seems the
Mhm.
system is corrupt.
Every
I
system is corrupt. I mean,
it.
every. I mean, a system, as I told you, a system once a group forms, then Darwinistic laws take effect. The group has a mind of its own. It's not you. You are a member of the group. The group's mind is not yours. You're just a cog in the machine. You're just a part of the machine, and what you have to say has maybe some influence on what the group has to say, but the group has a mind of its own. And if you don't like it, then, I mean, you're never gonna find a group that your mind will match the group's mind. It's not gonna happen. Statistically, I don't know. Maybe it could happen. Oh,
Hello, Q2.
hey Q2. Let's see if he can talk. I know he has a lot of noise in the background. Well, Q2, we cannot hear you, so if you're trying to say something, I cannot hear you. Maybe try leaving and coming back. Um, yeah. So you're saying it's corrupt? Yeah. Every group, every system is corrupt. The United States is corrupt. North Korea
Yep.
is corrupt.
Hmm.
Christianity is corrupt. Science is corrupt. Math is corrupt. The legal system is corrupt. Your closest friends, your family is corrupt. You might not be aware of the fact that your family is corrupt because for now you didn't cross anyone in your family, but some people have discovered that their families are corrupt.
So far, I've gotten really lucky
Yeah,
and
yeah, it's
been well.
Right, but it could happen theoretically. I mean, it happened to me. I mean, my family is terrible, really terrible. So,
Hmm.
a lot of children end up being abused by their closest, by their family. So, it could
Right.
easily become corrupt. It certainly has the potential to be corrupt. Anyway, um, so, but what I'm saying is that your I mean, me and you, we agree on a lot, and I think that it's because you're protected by the Christian mind virus. AQ2, want to try it
Well,
again?
okay. Let's say this is a mind.
Yeah, I couldn't hear you guys for real.
Oh, okay. Oh, we should have wrote something. Yeah, yeah. Now we can hear you. Everything is yeah. It's a bug in Discord that sometimes you have to leave and re-enter, and you wouldn't know it if you don't know Discord. You wouldn't even know that this is what you need to do. Yeah. I don't know why they're not fixing this bug. I mean, such an amazing system, and they're not fixing such a well-known bug. So I don't know what to do.
Yeah.
Hey Q2, what do you say? So this guy, Osam, is a Christian, and he's thinking to leave the fold, but because the system is maybe a little bit corrupt, um, so I told him that every system is corrupt. And what about you, Q2? Are you like a Christian?
No,
Are you an atheist?
pretty much, yeah. Maybe agnostic, but I just haven't seen any evidence. So it's just no. It'd be. I don't think I'm going to get the evidence I want in this lifetime. So pretty much atheist.
Okay. Yeah, I'm pretty much atheist. I mean, I have realized that the universe, it looks like it has been designed. I mean, if you study physics, it's too weird. It's just too weird. It's like a super bad script. I mean, if this were a science fiction movie, you would complain after reading the script that whoever wrote it just shoved in too many weird storylines into one movie. It's just everything is so weird. Everything is so weird. Nothing makes any sense. Like, go back, rewrite the script. This is too crazy. So that's how I feel about this universe. It's like at this point, it's super duper intelligently designed. Everything has been designed. It's like it's we might as well be in a simulation. It's so difficult to believe that this is real nature. It's if this is real nature, then that's incredible. I mean, hats off to nature. Nature is super bizarre. But I'm not. I don't know if there is a god. I mean, I have come to the conclusion a long time ago that it's unknowable how the universe began. We can never know how this multiverse began. It's impossible to ever know how the multiverse began. It's impossible to know if, and that's it. I mean, it's impossible to know anything objective. We don't even know what reality is. It's impossible to know what reality is because we might always be in a simulation. You always have to account for the option that this might all be a simulation or a cosmic dream, or you might be on drugs, and who knows, or this entire memory of your life has just been implanted. I mean, everything is unknowable, so it's terrible. In
Yeah,
that,
for the religion thing, I would just say it depends on why you want to leave. If you want to leave because it doesn't make logical sense, I actually wouldn't leave just because of that. I think there's a lot of benefits to having, even if you're not religious, to going to church and dealing with people and having that community. Like you'll have to.
I agree, but there's just some parts of the entire thing that's got me like, eh. But it's I don't know how to explain it. I think that there's a good and an evil,
Okay.
And it somehow connects to everything. But I just there's where I don't know. Maybe it's just the part where they are constantly asking for money, but
Right. But every
So you feel like,
every
oh, you
system,
go,
yeah,
Mr.
every system is going to ask you for membership fees. I mean, no system can be alive without some financial support.
right.
I would say that if you're looking for a pure system, then no, you're not going to find that really anywhere. I mean, maybe like pure people that are on pure evil might be very like consistent and all that stuff and without like and honest, but a lot of things are just gray, or a lot of things like have pros and cons and all
Yeah,
that stuff.
yeah.
Yeah.
Anyway, let's go back to our debate topic list. So I don't think we can debate on anything. This guy Osam, he and I agree on everything. Wait, Q2, do we agree on everything? Do me and you agree on everything?
Probably not. I would say that.
Wait, you believe in global warming? You believe global warming is a real thing? It's not a complete.
Oh yeah,
Oh, you believe in
yeah.
it?
Of course, it's a real thing.
Oh, so yeah. So that's why I have nothing in common in general with atheists. Atheists in general are not protected by the Christian mind virus, so they're susceptible to the woke ideology and to the global warming nonsense and all the other
So you're
nonsense.
saying something bad somehow can turn good.
Yeah, I mean, a virus that attacks your brain will not let another virus overtake your brain. So the first virus
Oh, I
protects
see what you
you.
mean. That
It
makes sense. I see what.
inoculates you from the other viruses. But in the long run, the woke ideology is stronger. But no, I don't. You know what? I don't even know. Let me just write down racism. Racism is fake. That's number 26.
Ooh, okay, let's get it.
Wait, you disagree? You think racism is real?
Yeah, racism is real.
Okay.
Yeah, I'll just start with that.
Have you ever met a racist?
Have I met a racist?
Yeah.
Um,
Bet he sees one every day.
Really? Tell me. Okay.
Not every day, but
You go to school?
I can say that I've met people that will have hateful hateful thoughts towards people based on prejudice and racial stereotypes and all that stuff. They have hate, and they would prefer that group of people not be there, pretty much. So I have met racists, but not very many.
But the question is, were they born? So were they born racist? Do you think they were born racist?
No.
No, nobody's born racist. Like
So
nobody's
so
born
what you
speaking. Like,
so okay, so what you're telling me is that life taught them that probably the race that they hate taught them, maybe even the hard way, taught them to be hated. So let's say a guy that you met who you think hates blacks, well, it might be because he wasn't born hating blacks. So what's the explanation? The likely explanation is that a black person or black people taught him the hard way the lesson that he needs to hate black people. Do you agree or disagree?
I agree.
So that's not racism. Then what you're telling me is that
What
black
is your definition of racism?
exactly, that's why it's fake. It doesn't there's no definition. You can never be racist. Actually it's a violation of the rationality assumption. That's how I know it's fake. That's how I
This
know.
makes no sense.
Makes no sense.
Oh, be right back.
All right. Wait, somebody said it makes no sense?
Just
So let's
because
say
you're not
they,
born racist doesn't mean that it doesn't exist. You can acquire something.
How can you acquire racism? Explain to me the process by which a person became racist. How did he do it?
Everything that you were just explaining.
So that's not racism. So what happened was
No, that is racism. Is once you start to think that way, once you start to believe that because of whatever it was you were taught or whatever it was you experienced or whatever happened to you in your life, and then you start to take on that identity.
That's not.
That's when racism becomes real, and that is what racism is. Racism, there is no definition in racism that you must be born this way.
No, no, no. I'm saying.
What makes racism real is the hatred or the discomfort or whatever it is that you feel against another race. And that is racism. And when somebody does experience that, and there are people out there who experience it, therefore it is real.
No.
Your whole argument, the whole foundation of it makes no sense to me.
No. Listen. So, if let's say I'm a person, I was born as a baby, you agree that I wasn't racist. All right. And then I somehow became racist. All right. So what could have happened? Let's come up with a theory what could have happened. So maybe I
From
met a black person who was real mean to me in such a way that I said to myself, "Wow, I've never seen anything like it." And then another one and another one. At one point, I say to myself, you know what? It appears to be stereotypical that with the skin color comes this meaniness. So I'm going to just stay away from black people because I noticed that in general, they are on average more mean than white people, for example. Right? That's a legitimate theory. You would agree that this is how a racist came into existence, right?
Well, that's not actually very racist right there. What you're saying,
I was
Okay.
going to say that.
that's not really racist. That's just saying that most. But if you're saying most, you're not really being racist. It's when
Mhm.
you say that if you're black, you're definitely always going to be bad, and all black people are bad because they're black.
Okay,
That's
but you know, statistically, if again and again and again and again, and like every time someone in traffic behaves mean to you, someone wherever you go to a restaurant behaves mean to you, like again, and so at one point you start saying, you know what, maybe it's all blacks, it's just genetic or something. So I'm just gonna stay away in general from black people, you know, unless like my friend Q2, he's black, but he's my best friend. But in general, I could easily say that he's the exception and fine. But in general, I might be a racist, not because I was born, not because I want to be a racist, but I just noticed a I just noticed a scientific phenomenon. I mean, how else would a person become racist, right? Do you agree or disagree?
Can you just say it doesn't exist?
Right, that's not racism. But what I'm describing is
No,
not
no, you said
racism.
you said like racism in general just doesn't exist.
That's what I'm saying. Racism cannot exist. I mean,
What would you call the KKK then? If they're targeting a certain group of people based on their skin color, what
but
would you consider that?
I would say, I mean, why did they acquire this position? I mean, if they really hate, the question is, do they hate blacks? I
They
mean,
want to kill them.
oh
I mean,
yes,
you
they
could say
do.
it's a little more than hate.
I don't know.
What about Hitler and the Holocaust? that's
Hitler,
that's
Hitler,
like hate on the highest level. He
no,
did not like Jews.
no. We can go back to Hitler. I think he was pretending. I mean, the whole thing when you read when you read what he said, it's over the top. I think he was pretending to hate Jews. I think he set up the Jews to be a hated group, you know, in order to unite.
So now you're committing to a belief with no actual verification or proof to back it up, whereas I've committed to something that actually has proof and verification to back it up.
Wait, what do you mean? What do you mean? I don't have any
Well, there's
proof.
two
The
sources
stuff that
now,
you're reading,
KKK and Hitler.
the stuff that you're reading that you're just ignoring.
What do you
You're
mean?
just deciding to believe that it's fake and it's not real and they're lying. But there's no real verification to prove what you're saying when we actually have what they've done, the actions they've done, and the things that they've said. But you're just going to just believe that, nah, no way. They're
We
just lying
have
to themselves.
we have we have record in history again and again, leaders have used the Jews as a scapegoat in order to turn the people against. I mean, this is a classic witch hunt. Even the Salem trials were exactly that. I mean, this is a classic witch hunt. So you have someone who wants to get something done, and he just creates a scapegoat, and whatever reason to chase the scapegoat. And actually, it's in order to turn, it's for gain. It's just for political gain. The Jews throughout the generations were just used for political gain. They were just the the leaders used to use the Jews to turn the mob against the Jews in order to, like, to create an enemy. It's like, if the when the United States goes to war, so everyone unites behind the president, because you have to, because we're at war. So if the Jews are evil, then the German people have to unite against the Jews. So I think, because when you read what Hitler thought about the
What
Jews.
was the need for Germany to fight against the Jews? Like, what was the need for that? Like, there was
Yeah,
no need at this time.
exactly. The hatred of Hitler for the Jews was so over the top that it looks like he was pretending. No one ever speaks this way. The way he spoke in a way that is just over the
So
top.
he hated them so much, therefore he was pretending. That doesn't make any sense.
Yeah, it sounds like pretend. It doesn't sound real.
No, that makes like if it's a almost a cartoonish type of hate that's super exaggerated.
Hmm.
I would say. I think that's what you're trying to say, but not
Yeah,
necessarily that it's actually fake.
I think he faked it. I think he was LARPing, hating the Jews. I don't think he really hated the Jews.
Yeah, he truly
I
believes
mean,
that he hates it.
I mean, he says in.
What I think is, what I think is that um, he did hate the Jews, but he over exaggerated that hate and propagandized it
Yeah,
to get other people to follow him.
yeah.
But he really did hate them.
No, I don't think so. He knew he was too smart. He knew that the Jews. No, I don't think he really hated the Jews. I don't think so. His mom's doctor was a Jew, and he saved his life. Yeah, I don't think he hated Jews. He says himself in Mein Kampf that when he first came to Berlin and he saw Jews for the first time, he had no idea what they are. And when he was first handed an anti-Semitic pamphlet, he thought it was stupid. He said, "What? Why would you hate? What did it didn't it didn't mean anything to him." And then through the time of being in Berlin and being in debates, he started hating the Jews because they were such terrible debaters. That he complains about how they debated. It doesn't make any sense to hate people. I mean, it just.
So you still haven't really given me a good reason for why racism isn't real and that there are no such thing as racist
Racism
people.
racism cannot be real if we assume rationality. And if you don't assume rationality, you lose the science
What
of.
does that mean?
Yeah, yeah, I'll roll back. I mean, I'll circle back. Let me just finish my introduction. So if you don't believe in the rationality assumption, you lose the science of economics. If you lose the science of economics, you lose our best science for explaining the natural phenomena known as the economy, probably the most complex phenomenon known in the universe. And we have a simple model that explains it really well, and it's all based on one assumption, the rationality assumption. The rationality assumption just assumes that everyone has only one consideration, their self interest. Everyone just tries to maximize their own well being. And if you have any other consideration, that's a violation of the rationality assumption. So if you assume rationality, then you cannot assume anything else that, because it would violate rationality. Someone is typing. Maybe you can mute yourself.
My
So,
bad.
yeah, it's okay. So, so if you believe a person is rational, looking out for his best, he cannot also be racist. He cannot also be misogynist, anti women. He cannot also be a feminist. He cannot also be actually a Christian. He cannot also be anything else. Everything else he does is because he's rational. It's all pretend. So everyone pretends. You just have to look deep into your soul and see that everything you do, you're pretending because of one consideration and one consideration only. You're only maximizing your own well being. So when you say, I'm a moral person, I don't murder, you are lying. You are a rational creature. You optimize your own self being. That's why you say to us that you will not murder us because you don't want us to put you in jail. So you want to maximize your well being. That's why you claim to be moral. That's why you claim to not rape, not murder. It's all lies. It's all virtue
This
signaling.
isn't pretending. This is believing.
And that's what the rationality assumption predicts that you will say. It's a mathematical prediction that you will say what you just said.
What's the math?
That you the math is very simple. I assume rationality. I assume you're looking out for yourself. I assume that you will say whatever will
How is
maximize.
that math? You're assuming. That's not math.
No, of course, of course, math has assumptions. Without assumptions, you don't have math. Math is like soccer. Soccer depends on the rules of soccer. Math is like soccer. Math is just a game. It depends on the rules of math. So the rules of math, whatever they are, they give you the tools in order to be able to say that 1 + 1 = 2. So you make assumptions. Based on the assumptions, you can make deductions. So if we make the assumption, a mathematical assumption of rationality, it's actually a part of math. Rationality theory is a chapter in math. Microeconomics is actually a mathematical economic theory. It's all mathematical. So if you assume rationality, if you assume that every creature optimizes their well-being, then in this scenario, I can predict that you will say in every conversation that I've ever had with anyone who objected to the rationality assumption, they all replied exactly the same way as the rationality assumption predicts they would have replied. It's exactly as the.
This doesn't disprove racism at all.
Yes, it does. You cannot be.
No, it doesn't.
Yes, it does. You
Not
It
at
can.
all.
actually,
Yes.
it actually fuels the idea that racism would exist
No,
because somebody could have prejudiced ideas and under their own selfish well-being say, I don't want to interact with people that have harmed me in the past.
that's not racism. He's just being rational. That's not racism. He could
No,
react the
that
same.
is
No,
racism.
he could react.
They have a belief that in order to improve their life,
Yes.
they need to get rid of these people
That
because these
that
people are going to hurt them because
that's
they don't think these people are good.
that's not racism. That's scientific.
That is racism. That's
No,
the definition of racism.
no.
If you look up the
It's
definition,
nothing. It's nothing
that
to
is
do.
what it is.
It's nothing to do with race. It's
It doesn't
ten.
matter why they're being racist, right?
No.
It doesn't matter why, but it's still racist.
No. What do you mean? I'm looking to survive. I notice that black people wherever I go are trying to kill me, or sorry, not black people, yellow people, whatever. I notice a certain characteristic wherever I go, a certain characteristic of people, they always try to kill me. I'm going to stay away from them. Maybe I'll try to kill them because I don't know, because they're so dangerous. Like when you go to war, you try to kill the enemy. How can you tell the enemy from your friends? Well, by certain characteristics. Like
Well, yeah, in war, I would say for sure, it's like it's you definitely do like there you definitely do have to like judge by race almost and all that stuff. It's a little racist, like you are like a little you probably are a little racist if you're in a war and shit like that. But that racism is to help you basically differentiate between who's friend or foe and to help you survive and all that stuff. It's kind of not expected. Well, kind of expected, and it's kind of a helpful adaptation to be a little bit racist. It'd be the same, and in my opinion, like if you're a little bit homophobic in prison, it probably will help you out because there are people that are want to take advantage of it and all that stuff. So if you're a little closed off towards people who seem to show signs of attraction to you, it might help you avoid sticky situations. Now, outside of prison, homophobia doesn't serve anybody. So somebody we would say to somebody who's homophobic, you should probably not have these ideas about people and try to hurt or have bad thoughts about these, not bad thoughts, but try to hurt these people based on just being gay because it doesn't serve you. And you're not getting the bad people. Like you're not doing anything that's worthwhile. And so the same thing with racism. While somebody's in a war, yeah, you can say get the whatever race that you're going against, but outside of war, that racist idea, that underlying thing of saying these people are bad will always, well, not almost always, I'll say almost always, but it doesn't it doesn't serve you, and it serves to keep those people down. Usually, if enough people think a certain thing and want to either get rid of them or keep them segregated and all that stuff.
Anyway,
Slavery is another good thing.
what?
Slavery is another good thing
No,
to
but no. Let,
racism.
let me just say something. So you could say that a selfish person only sees one color, green. So I don't care who's going to give me the green. Is it the black guy? Is it the blue guy? Is it the white guy? I don't care. Is it women? Is it men? Is it trans guys? I don't care. I only want green. Give me money. That's being selfish. So a truly, truly, truly selfish person sees only one color, just green, meaning money, and nothing else matters. If he also looks into, you're a black person, so your money is not as green as the white guy, well, then he's not purely selfish. So we're violating rationality. That's impossible. So as long as we assume rationality, there cannot be racism. Yeah, go ahead,
Well, there's
Alchemy.
degrees
No, wait,
of
Q2, Alchemy
rationality.
wanted to speak.
Gosh,
Alchemy.
Oh no, I'm fine. You can go. You can go.
No,
I'm
you wanted
fine.
to say something about slavery.
Oh no, I already kind of said what I had to say, which is slavery is just another good point for uh, why racism. For example, like you have slaves, and it happens to maybe help your economy and help you to get stuff done or whatever. But in order to be okay with slavery, you can't think that they're equal with you. You can't think that they're like all other white people. You have to to belittle them and be racist in order to really be able to live with the idea of having slavery. That's another way to be racist.
Yeah, but that's nothing to. But that's look. But that's not racism. So I can have slaves because I want green. I'm greedy, but I don't care if they're black or white. Why would I care what color, what ethnicity my slaves are? I want to enslave the human race and every other race. I want
It does
everyone.
matter
What was it?
because in order to be okay with yourself, right? This is the way I'm seeing it
Hmm.
within America, for example.
Hmm.
In order to be okay with yourself, you need to make yourself think, oh, well, my race is the superior race, so we can never have slavery with white people.
Perfect. That's
Which they didn't have
selfish.
that.
So you're just being
But
selfish.
slavery with black people and Native Americans, well, that's okay because they're barbaric. They're barbarians. They're
Fine.
not.
So
So
you're
this
being
racism
you're just being
allows it to exist.
So you're just being selfish. You're just telling me I'm just being selfish. So I'm going to enslave every other race. I'm not going to enslave my race because I don't want my race to enslave me. I want to create this separation. But you're just being selfish. So again, we assume rationality. And again, there's no racism. It's just selfishness.
why are those separate to you?
Why are those separate to me?
Yeah, why can't somebody be racist and selfish?
It would be a violation. I mean, selfish means I want the best for me. Now, why would I care if you want to give me money and you're black, you want to give me money and you're white? I don't care. Why would I care? I want to optimize my life. Why would I care who gives me money, who gives me resources, who I kill for resources, who I take from, who I enslave? Why would I ever care? Unless it affects me. So I don't want to enslave my ethnicity because I want my ethnicity to be out of a potential slavery because I don't want to be a slave. So me and my friends, we have an agreement. We don't enslave each other, but we can enslave everybody else. But that's just rational. That's just looking out for myself.
For sure. That makes sense. I think if you are looking out for yourself and viewing other people as lesser, specifically, and you're viewing your race as superior, I would say that's a form of supremacy of your own race, and that's a form of racism to have those that type of ideology.
Um,
There are many different ways to be selfish, and racism is just one of them.
right. But ultimately, racism serves, you can say that racism serves rationality. Racism serves self benefit. But if tomorrow morning I can get more self benefit by being anti racist, I'll become anti racist. If tomorrow morning all the black people they say, "Hey, you're one of us. We want to give you $1 trillion every day. You stay with us," and you tell everyone that from now on blacks are cool, and you're one of the black guys. I'll do that because I'm just out for myself. At the end of the day, everybody's just out for themselves. Everybody just wants to enjoy life to the maximum. If I can enjoy life with black people, I'll be a black guy. If I can enjoy life by being white, I'll be a white guy. It's however I can survive to the best, with the best results. That's what I'll do. It's not
It doesn't work that clearly because belief isn't always rational. So it could change where society where you would need to no longer be racist in order to gain the full benefit, but some people will be stubborn and stick to what they believe regardless of whether it's beneficial or not.
so you have to show me those cases.
Not everybody's rational.
You have to show me those cases because that person that sticks to racism even at their own detriment, that means maybe, for example, they might have been abused as a child by a black person, so they take it more personally, and then it's too painful for
That's
them.
racism.
What?
That's racism. It doesn't matter what the
No,
reason
it might
or
be.
why you're
No,
racist.
it might.
You're still being racist. You're no
No,
longer left the realm of rationality to commit to a belief and stick with it.
I mean, okay. I mean, you're always gonna have edge cases. We'll have to discuss edge cases, but it's now 9 p.m. Eastern time. I've been streaming for an hour, so I have to go kill myself. It's that time. Alchemy, thank you very much for joining us. Awesome, thank you very much for joining us. Q2, thank you very much. Uh, I'm going to
And now,
go.
man,
What?
and now,
I'm gonna end the stream now. Yeah, I'm gonna go kill myself.
what?
I'll see you tomorrow morning though, after I kill myself somehow.
Gotcha.
All right, guys. Good night. See you later. Bye bye.
Night.
Night. All right. Let's see if we have some comment. Oh, there's no comments. Only the comments from the guys that joined us. Like awesome, Cro-Magnon, and Cro-Magnon says me here learn stuff. Very good. Yeah, Cro-Magnon. I learned a lot today. All right, my fellow Americans, my fellow Earthicans. It's been a hell of a ride. I'll see you tomorrow morning. I don't know what time yet. Maybe I'll change the 11 a.m. to another hour. The night show, I think I'm moving to 8 p.m. because after that becomes too late and everybody has to kill themselves. So that's no good. Anyway, I'm gonna go now. Oh, Woody Johnson, it's over. It's over. Yeah, it's over. Okay, guys, I'll see you tomorrow morning. Have a great night and bye bye.